Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH The Flame Emperor episode number 114 based on novel. So let's start. Xiao Yang fought wits and courage with the soul liquid in the secret room. After all, although this soul liquid was deprived of its spiritual wisdom by a certain great power, it would also have a certain resistance to swallowing Xiao Yang out of instinct. Devouring the soul liquid can certainly increase the power of the soul, but in order to pursue a better choice, Xiao Yang chose to deal with the soul liquid quietly. After all, I want to maximize the effect of volatilizing this soul liquid. After all, remove all other impurities in this soul liquid. As for the three of Shanyao, they were also in the room with their beautiful eyes closed, constantly recovering their breath. Waiting for Xiao Yang's exit, he will go to the top of the desert mountain range. Elsewhere in the desert mountains, this is a huge forest. The forest is full of hundreds of square meters, and the trees and some monsters in the sky are constantly appearing and appearing, disguising this place into a dangerous place that is naturally Natra. What on earth is there in this forest? Why does it feel like it's calling me? Mu Ining came towards her, but Bei Lip murmured. Since she separated from Xiao Yang at the beginning, Mu Ining was teleported here. After teleporting here, Mu Ining found that it was a dangerous place, with monsters constantly appearing and appearing, plus some traps, which almost made Mu Ining stunned, but fortunately, what Mu Ining had learned was true, it saves danger. After Mu Ining finished speaking, she raised her head and looked at the deepest part of the forest. It seems that the person who called her voice came from here, but Mu Ining never knew what the voice was, but vaguely guessed that the voice should be made by the king of the forest. After all, she can live in the depths of the forest. The position is terrifying. Forget it, let's go and have a look. After a brief thought, Mu Ining decided what was in her heart. The reason why Mu Ining decided to go and have a look is because there is no other way to go here. In addition, Mu Ining has a holy flame and is quite confident in her own strength, so she made such a decision. In the forest, monsters kept appearing and appearing, but Mu Ining was carrying holy flames, and she could always feel that these monsters were abnormal, and even felt that many monsters had the aura of foreign evil races, but in the shock of holy flames under the sight, these monsters were forced to retreat. It seems that there should be something extremely terrifying in this desert mountain range. Otherwise, how could the aura of this foreign evil race invade so seriously? Mu Ining said as she looked at the monsters that kept appearing not far from her. But it's strange. Although there is holy flame, why don't these monsters attack me? Or they can't see me? Mu Ining was full of questions. Just when Mu Ining hesitated, a blue light beam suddenly swept towards Mu Ining from the deepest part of the forest. There is a situation. Mu Ining's aura rose to the extreme, and she immediately became vigilant. The next moment, the blue light beam stopped instantly not far from Mu Ining. Mu Ining was confused by this sudden scene. Come with me. A faint breath spread out from the blue light beam, and then entered Mu Ining's mind. What is this blue light beam? Why are these monsters so afraid? Although Mu Ining had a guess in her heart, she couldn't help saying, "Forget it, let's go in and have a look. I hope you don't have any malicious intentions, otherwise, even if you can't use the power of holy flame, I will make you pay the price." Mu Ining let out a coquettish sigh, and then she didn't stop and walked straight up, and then go towards the blue beam. It's getting closer and closer to the depths of this forest. Why do I always have an uneasy feeling in my heart? Mu Ining kept walking under the guidance of the blue light beam, but she couldn't help but tremble in her heart. Step by step. As Mu Ining approached, the more she could find that the holy flame in her body became irritable and restless, as if she had encountered some natural enemy. What's wrong with you? Mu Ining immediately noticed the strangeness of the holy flame in her body, and immediately her heart sank. She said to the holy flame in her body. The holy flame in Mu Ining's body is different from ordinary ones. The holy flame in Mu Ining's body is sealed as if by her. Although she can mobilize the power of holy flame, there is a difference. Wang buzzing. The holy flame in Mu Ining's body seemed to make a weak sound, and then circles of blue holy flames spread out from Mu Ining's body instantly. Is there something here? Mu Ining also noticed the intensity of the holy flame at this time, and immediately asked slightly. As Mu Ining approached, all the monsters in the forest retreated, leaving a path to the depths of the forest. What is this? Mu Ining forcibly suppressed the curiosity in her body, but after walking for a while, she found that there was no way in front of her. This blue light beam should have spread from the inside. Mu Ining said thoughtfully. After thinking for a while, Mu Ining did not hesitate. She was covered in the power of azure blue holy flame, and then suddenly approached slowly in front of her. Enchantment. Just after taking a few steps, Mu Ining found that it was difficult to move forward, and it became extremely difficult to move forward. How come there is an enchantment here? Such a strong barrier, what exactly is in it? Mu Ining couldn't help asking. As soon as she finished speaking, Mu Ining gritted her teeth and continued walking. Finally, under the terrifying power of Mu Ining's azure blue holy flame, her figure trembled slightly, and then she sank directly into it. Mu Ining only felt a sudden dizziness in her head, and then her figure suddenly trembled. Then she passed through the barrier and entered the depths of the forest. This is. Mu Ining entered the mysterious barrier in the depths of the forest, her eyes lit up. What was reflected in Mu Ining's eyes was a space that was several meters in size. There were no fancy decorations in the space, and there was only a mass of black that was extremely rich. The black color is like a roundworm that clings to the bone marrow of a person, and it is so attached to it that Mu Ining can't find out what it is. The entire space is very small, only a few meters in size, and all around the space is bound by the enchantment. The only thing in the space is a wooden stake connected to the land. There are a lot of age marks on the stake. Obviously I have a lot of years, but on the stake, something wrapped in black energy slowly appeared. A trace of extremely evil aura came from above the stake, causing Mu Ining to wrinkle her eyes slightly. Is this the alien race? Mu Ining said in a deep voice. As soon as Mu Ining finished speaking, the azure blue holy flame that appeared all over her body was like a fierce tiger, staring at the black aura, and a mortal enema-like aura spread out instantly. Calm down. Mu Ining heard the words, and immediately forcibly suppressed the restlessness of the holy flame in her body. Mu Ining knew the grievances between Xiao Yang and the evil race outside the realm, and immediately suppressed the restlessness in her body. Save me. An extremely weak voice emanated from the wooden stake shrouded in the evil aura of the evil race from outside the realm. What's the sound? Mu Ining was shocked, her breath suddenly soared to the limit, and she stared at this space. Buzz. When Mu Ining was surprised, the blue holy flame beside her became vigilant against the black energy above the stake. Is it here? After all, Mu Ining and Xiao Yang were in the same mind. Seeing this, Mu Ining also knew the source of the voice. This wooden stake seems to have an extraordinary origin, but how can there be such a terrifying thing on the wooden stake? Mu Yingbei's lips moved slightly, but her pupils were turning quickly, staring at the black shadow on the wooden stake. Gas. Cece. The black chi above the wooden stake seemed to have noticed that Mu Ining had entered without authorization, and immediately a black ripple of fighting chi spread out from it, and attacked Mu Ining in an instant. It's too much. Mu Ining snorted coldly, pouted her arrogant forehead, and stared at the trace of blackness with her beautiful eyes. Mu Ining is quite confident in the power of this holy flame in herself, and holy flame has been the nemesis of foreign evil races since ancient times. Cece. When the trace of black chi came to Mu Ining's side, the blue holy flame on Mu Ining's body immediately became restless, and then turned into a huge mouth with a ferocious expression, directly pouring the black chi into the body of Mu Ining. Devour it all. At the same moment, the strange black energy suspended above the wooden stakes turned slightly and glared at Mu Ining. Go. Mu Ining didn't hesitate. The power of the azure blue holy flame instantly soared, and then the figure exploded, and above the jade hand, an extremely bright holy flame power suddenly attacked the black energy. This is actually holy flame. An exclamation suddenly emerged from the black air. Bang bang bang. The next moment, the power of the dazzling holy flame in Mu Ining's hand suddenly collided with the black energy. The next moment, the strange evil black chi suddenly escaped from the wooden stake. Because this black chi knew that although the strength of the woman in front of her was only in the middle stage of the 5-star Dodi, but with the addition of holy flame, she could already kill herself, so she did not dare to take it lightly. Thank you. The black air above the stake escaped, and then revealed the true face of the thing on the stake. It was a fiery red dazzling crystal the size of a thumb. The whole body of the crystal was irregular, exuding a strange aura, but it was dim and dull. Mu Ining felt a joy when she saw this crystal. This is holy flame crystal. Mu Ining was slightly surprised, then stared at the thumb-sized crystal in front of her. As the so-called holy flame crystal, it is the exclusive item of holy flame. For every holy flame, there are two kinds of things, holy flame soul seed and holy flame crystal. Holy flame soul seed is the root of holy flame, because every holy flame is a creature with extremely high intelligence. As for this holy flame in Mu Ining's body, it seems that it is different from others because of some states. Otherwise, Each holy flame exists independently, and the holy flame soul seed can be said to be the root of the holy flame, because once the holy flame soul species leaves the holy flame, then the holy flame is transformed into a machine that only knows for people to drive. Then there is the holy flame crystal. In order to obtain the holy flame, one must obtain the holy flame crystal or the approval of the holy flame soul seed. Holy flame crystal, holy flame soul seed. The existence of the two can truly be called holy flame. I can't think of the existence of holy flames in this desert mountain range. No wonder I always feel that something is calling me. It turned out to be the power of holy flame. Mu Ingying shook her head. Who are you and why do you have holy flame? Just as Mu Ingying slowly stared at the holy flame crystal, the black air mass separated from the holy flame crystal evilly said, "It is the powerhouse of the dignified blood demon clan. When the Madwood Immortal Master here fought against the powerhouses in their clan, it finally found this holy flame crystal, and through a special method, it will devour this holy flame crystal right now." Unexpectedly, Mu Ingying appeared. Who I am? I am the one who killed your extraterritorial evil clan. Mu Ingying said lightly, but she looked at this black chi extremely sharply in her eyes. Insanity. You can also destroy my foreign evil race. It's too stupid to talk about a dream. A disdainful voice suddenly emanated from the black air mass. Don't, wasting time with it, save me. An intermittent voice slowly emanated from the holy flame crystal suspended on the stake. Holy flame crystal has been eroded so badly. Mu Ingying sighed slightly, her eyes flashing with a hint of solemnity, and then she bit her silver teeth and slowly pulled out an identical blue crystal from her bosom. As soon as the azure crystal appeared, Mu Ingying's whole body's breath rose slightly. Don't talk, I'll help you get rid of the evil power in your body first, otherwise you will be controlled. Mu Ingying gritted her teeth. Right now, the power of the black air mass of this extraterritorial evil clan is unknown, and this holy flame crystal is also eroded. It's too serious. If you don't solve it as soon as possible, I'm afraid it will change later. Snort. The azure blue saint flame crystal appeared in Mu Ingying's hand, and the space immediately trembled, as if she was quite afraid of Mu Ingying's holy flame power. Which one is the holy flame on this woman's body, and how can its power be so terrifying? Saint Yang, who is ranked in the 30s, can make many of us outsiders quite fear, and even has the power to kill us. If is ranked in the top 20, that would be. After the black air mass finished speaking, there was a sudden movement. I can't let this woman drive away the evil power of Xiong. After so many years, I have tried countless methods to erode such a little bit. If it is such a waste of time. After speaking, a ***** aura erupted from the black chi, which was close to Mu Ingying. Give it to you. I'll deal with him. Mu Ingying put the azure blue holy flame crystal in her hand on the stake, and then spoke, apparently facing her own holy flame crystal. Wong buzzing. The azure holy flame crystal seemed to hear Mu Ingying's words, and immediately let out a happy voice, as if saying leave it to me. Seeing this, the fiery red saint flame crystal, which was about to fade away, moved slightly, trying to approach the azure holy flame crystal, and used that dazzling power to dispel the evil power from his body. Little girl, it's too late to quit now. Otherwise, die. A voice that shot straight into the sky suddenly burst out from the black air. I think it's you who died, right? After Mu Ingying finished speaking, she covered herself with azure flames, and then slowly condensed into a crystal blue battle armor. Above the battle armor, a strong aura that shook the world slowly emerged. Damn, such a strong breath. The black air mass slowly spoke, and a dignified expression emerged in my heart. This woman's grasp of the holy flame is so tyrannical. Saint Flame congealing armor, this is the means to deal with their extraterritorial evil race. The battle armor condensed by this holy flame, I am afraid that with the current self, it is impossible to defeat it in a short time. Hey, I can only forget it. I'm not reconciled. The black air mass said slightly hesitantly. Where to run? Mu Ingying quickly noticed that the black chi seemed to be retreating, and she immediately mentioned it, and she chased after the black chi. Asshole. Which holy flame is this, and why is its power so terrifying? The black chi kept cursing. Whenever Mu Ingying approached her, the evil power attached to her body would be slowly swept away. It's kinda weird to burn. No, you can't just give up. If you get this holy flame crystal, let alone a small blood demon clan, it's not a bad idea to be among the most powerful places. It's worth going. Heichi finished speaking, immediately shake, and then change quickly. Susu. The black chi suddenly trembled, and the next moment, blood radiated out, an extremely aura appeared, and then slowly appeared in front of Mu Ining. This is Gorefiend. Seeing this, Mu Ining made a slight voice, but the next moment, Mu Ining's pupils actually turned blue, and at the same time, her expression seemed to have lost its color. The strange Gorefiend said, "If you can see my body, you are the second on this Dodi continent, and you will be the last." After speaking, the black chi actually transformed into a human appearance. It was a person with a rather strange appearance, with limbs, hands, and feet, but the extremely ferocious smile on his face was especially heart-wrenching. Humph. Extraterritorial evil race, the sin is unforgivable. Die. Mu Ining said coldly, as if she had changed into a human figure since the black energy condensed into a human figure. There was not the slightest emotion in her voice, but only a boundless strangulation of strangulation. What an icy aura, such an aura. I am afraid that only the king of our clan has. The black figure said. The blood demon energy of the blood demon family is quite terrifying. Today, I will let you try this blood demon energy. The blood demonic energy enters the body, and it is irreversible. The black figure roared slowly. It's just a powerhouse of the Gorefiend clan. If you Gorefiends were here, I would still be afraid, but your words. Mu Ining said coldly. Arrogant. Is the Gorefiend also worthy of your name? After the Gorefiend figure finished speaking, the blood-colored aura that filled his body instantly condensed into a huge blood-colored chain. Where the blood-colored chain blade is, the cold light flashes, extremely sharp. Go. The Gorefiend figure controlled the chain and rushed towards Mu Ining. The overwhelming, terrifying and evil atmosphere made the space congeal slightly. It's over. Seeing this, Mu Ining suddenly burst out with a dazzling blue flame from the azure blue pupils, and then slowly wrapped around the blood-colored chain. The power of the blue holy flame just wrapped around the blood-colored chain of the Gorefiend figure, and the seemingly indestructible blood-colored chain suddenly made a very clear sound as if it had encountered a natural enemy, and ran away at a high speed. Broken. A coquettish anger suddenly came out of Mu Ining's mouth, and then the blood-colored chain shattered instantly. At the same time, the Gorefiend figure suddenly spewed out a mouthful of thick blood. Damn it. The power of holy flame really lives up to its reputation. It seems that we can only retreat first. The Gorefiend figure said slowly in his heart. Because the holy flame has been mixed with holy power since ancient times, it is a tienka for their evil races outside the realm. Want to run? Mu Ining saw that the Gorefiend figure had just turned around and ran towards the outside. Immediately, her eyes narrowed slightly, and a blue flame instantly attacked and surrounded the Gorefiend figure. Human, if you dare to kill me, the strong people of this clan will let you die without a burial place. The Gorefiend figure said hideously. The strength of the Gorefiend figure at this time is quite weak. On the one hand, it is because when he swallowed and assimilated the fiery red holy flame, he consumed too much of his source power. In addition to dealing with the holy flame in Mu Ining's hands now, that's why the Gorefiend figure is so weak. Die. Xiao Yang, destroy the evil. Mu Ining said proudly. As soon as he finished speaking, the azure blue holy flame crystal floating on the wooden stake suddenly flashed and came to Mu Ining's side. The next moment, Mu Ining and the Saint Yangjing simultaneously emitted extremely hot blue flames, and then slowly wrapped the Gorefiend figure. Don't. Following the package of the holy flame, a resentful voice came from the mouth of the Gorefiend figure. Remember, this great world is not where you should come, you should get out. A arrogant voice came from Mu Ining's mouth. Ha ha ha, even if I die, you humans don't have to think about it. The next war will be the end of your world. The Gorefiend figure's hideous words kept echoing in this space, but it was slowly melted away by the holy flame without a trace of breath, apparently dissipating between this whirl. Mu Ining coughed a few words as the Gorefiend figure completely disappeared. No, don't. Mu Ining's body trembled a little, and she opened her mouth slightly. There aren't many good humans either. They either hunted monsters or wanted to obtain our holy flame, I really don't know. Mu Ining with blue eyes suddenly said. Don't. The next moment, Mu Ining's pupils actually recovered, and she said immediately. But the next moment, the pupils turned blue again. Let's do it, don't blame me for not reminding you. As soon as the voice fell, the pupils returned to their usual appearance, as if they were the same as ordinary people. Who? The pupils returned to their usual color, and Mu Ining gasped for breath. The power she just used was obviously not intentional. But isn't that power sealed by yourself? How can it appear? Could it be that Xiao Yang and the alien race are really natural enemies? With a series of question marks, Mu Ining didn't think about it after all, and after a short rest, she came to the stake. The circle of growth rings on the stake means that the stake is very old. Senior. Mu Ining tentatively opened her mouth to the fiery red Saint Flame crystal suspended above the stake. Haha, little girl, thank you very much this time. The fiery red Saint Yangjing said slightly. Senior, you're very polite. Mu Ining also smiled. You can have holy flame at a young age, so maybe you will be a strong person in the future. But your identity seems to be a bit special. The fiery red Saint Yangjing said. However, Xiao Yang can only have one flower per person. This is the rule that our Xiao Yang has set since ancient times. Seemingly aware of some other meanings of Mu Ining, the fiery red Xiao Yang Jing spoke immediately. I know. Mu Ining said casually when she heard the word. A strange thing like holy flame, just one flower has unparalleled power. Senior may have misunderstood, I just picked it up on behalf of a friend. The next moment, Mu Ining smiled. As her thoughts of subduing this holy flame failed, a thin figure suddenly appeared in Mu Ining's heart. It was a man with a heavy ruler on his back, with a sense of justice and the calmness of stepping forward at critical moments. That is Xiao Yang. That's good. The fire-red Saint Yangjing also smiled comfortably when she heard the words. It's just that I don't know why. The fire-red Saint Flame crystal can always feel a rather strong sense of oppression on Mu Ining's body, like a 10,000-pound boulder, extremely heavy. The evil power in me has dissipated a lot. I'm afraid that if you use your holy flame power to dispel it again, it will hurt your origin, so let's go to the top of the mountain. Where is the holy flame? As long as you take me there, I will be able to dissipate all my evil power, said the fiery red holy flame crystal. Okay. Mu Ining nodded immediately when she heard the words, and then waved her hand. The fiery red holy flame crystal returned to Mu Ining's hand. As for the azure blue holy flame crystal in Mu Ining's own hand, then he was fused into his body by Mu Ining. With the complete disappearance of the gore-fiend figure in the forest, the beasts that were slowly eroded in the forest also slowly woke up. In the final analysis, the gore-fiend figure died inexplicably, because he underestimated the power of the holy flame, which led to this. In the manor, Xiao Yang's secret room. It's been a month since this secret room, I don't know how long it has passed outside. Xiao Yang slowly opened his eyes, and then said. During this month, Xiao Yang did not dare to delay for a moment. First, he used his huge soul power to remove all impurities from this transparent soul liquid, and then he slowly felt relieved. However, what surprised Xiao Yang was that there were very few impurities in this soul liquid, as if it had been removed by someone. However, due to Xiao Yang's vigilant personality, he still checked it out. After all, soul power is the weakest part of a person. Once there is any mistake, it will be terrifying. What worries Xiao Yang the most is whether this soul liquid has been contaminated by other forces, but fortunately, Xiao Yang's worries are all unnecessary. It seems that the owner of this mansion has a premonition of today, so he deliberately left this soul liquid. Xiao Yang couldn't help staring at the transparent soul liquid in front of him, and slowly opened his mouth. Forget it, let's break through first. The next moment, Xiao Yang shook his head slightly, simply not wasting time on this soul liquid. Come here. Xiao Yang sat cross-legged directly, and then his eyes were fixed on the soul liquid, for fear that something would change. Following Xiao Yang's cold snort, this soul liquid came towards the place where Xiao Yang was as if it had been called. Hee hee. Seeing this, Xiao Yang couldn't help laughing. Obviously, the power of this soul liquid was enough to support his soul power to break through the Emperor realm, a pharmacist of the second rank of Emperor. Xiao Yang stared at the transparent soul liquid in front of him, his eyes became extremely hot. Once he has broken through to the soul power of the Emperor realm, it is only a matter of time before he can break through the Emperor's second-grade alchemist. This day has troubled Xiao Yang for too long. It's not too late, let's start. With a plan in his mind, Xiao Yang forcibly suppressed the extremely hot feeling in his body, and then said to himself. The next moment, that soul liquid suddenly came to Xiao Yang. The whole soul liquid was suspended in front of Xiao Yang, and waves of huge soul power continued to faintly radiate from it, making Xiao Yang feel a terrifying wave. Absorb it for me. Xiao Yang suddenly took a deep breath, and then the Do Qi and soul power in his body instantly surged. In just a few short breaths, the colorless and transparent soul liquid was suddenly wrapped slowly. What a pure power! Xiao Yang couldn't help saying. Even if he only wrapped his soul liquid with his own soul power, a terrifying power that shook Xiao Yang's soul realm radiated from the soul liquid. This fluctuation can only show the tyranny of this soul liquid, which has far surpassed the soul power in Xiao Yang's soul realm. Suck. A cold snort came out from Xiao Yang's mouth. Following the sound of this voice, Xiao Yang's body suddenly emitted as many as 23 colors, and then the soul liquid slowly poured into Xiao Yang's body frantically from all directions under the control of Xiao Yang's soul power. The influx of soul liquid caused Xiao Yang's body to emit extremely terrifying fluctuations. With this fluctuation alone, I am afraid that the powerhouses in the late stage of 5-star Dodi would be instantly wiped out. The next moment, Xiao Yang's whole body was transparent, completely filled with soul liquid. As expected of soul liquid, Xiao Yang was surprised, and then he stopped talking, but stared at every meridian in his body. This soul liquid is like blood. Since it entered Xiao Yang's body, it flows from Xiao Yang's limbs and bones, and then slowly pours into Xiao Yang's huge soul realm. Therefore, Xiao Yang did not dare to relax at all. After all, this is not a joke. The meridians in the body and the soul realm are quite weak. If one is not careful, it will be seriously injured at light level, and it will be directly lost. This is not what Xiao Yang wants to see. After the Emperor's ordinary level, it is the Emperor's realm. The Emperor's realm is divided into beginners, small perfections, and great perfections. I don't know if this soul liquid can make my soul power to a higher level. Xiao Yang muttered. Obviously Xiao Yang knows that his current soul power has reached the peak of the Emperor realm and the breakthrough is only a matter of time. Now with the help of the soul liquid, he does not know if he can break through the Emperor realm's small perfection. A small perfection at the Emperor level, this is a sign of a strong party. In any sect, even one can be treated as a guess. As time passed by, Xiao Yang was also continuously absorbing the soul liquid in the secret room. Once the colorless and transparent soul liquid in front of Xiao Yang was completely absorbed, it would be Xiao Yang's breakthrough day. It's been 10 days. Although this secret room can delay the time to a great extent, it's probably been a few months inside. Why isn't Xiao Yang feeling better? This soul liquid is not so easy to absorb. Could it be an accident? No, I want to go in and have a look. In the room outside the secret room, Shan Yao's urgent voice came. Shan Yao, calm down and break through the power of the soul, it's not just a matter of time. If Xiao Yang doesn't have a certain amount of determination, I'm afraid he will fail. Shan Ling said slightly, and Shan Ling also had disbelief in Xiao Yang. Soul power has been the foundation of alchemists since ancient times. This Xiao Yang's soul power is one of the few strong people I have ever seen, so I think this kid will succeed. Snake Punishment on the side said slightly. Although I don't know why, Snake Xing believed that this Xiao Yang could easily wipe out the evil clan from outside the realm. I'm afraid that there would be no major problem in absorbing this soul liquid. Bang bang bang. Just when the three of them hesitated, the secret door of the secret room was broken open. Rather than being opened, it is better to say that it was blasted away by a terrifying explosive force. I'm sorry, I just broke through my soul power and didn't control the strength. An embarrassed and rude laughter came. The three of them saw that the visitor was a man with a heavy weight on his back, but the aura on his body and the secret room he had just entered had undergone earth-shaking changes. Success! Shanyaro said with great joy upon seeing this. Fortunately not to be humiliated. Xiao Yang heard the words, smiled first, and then slowly walked towards the three of them. Hehe, you really are hiding a lot. Seeing this, Snake Xing also respected Xiao Yang even more in his heart. But I see your breath, it doesn't look like you have broken through to the Emperor's realm. Snake Punishment is worthy of the old eyes, although he can't know the specific level of this refining pharmacist, but with his old eyesight, slow down slowly, Xiao Yang's difference was revealed. I've often heard that there are first-timers, minor perfections, and great perfections at the Emperor's realm. Now, I should be able to count as a minor perfection at the God's realm. Xiao Yang said with a smile. Sure enough. Snake Xing heard the words and was slightly overjoyed. Although he didn't know what the relationship between the alchemist level and the soul power, the stronger the soul power, the higher the level of the pharmacist. I didn't expect it to be successful. Shan Ling said in disbelief. Shan Ling is very clear about the power of this soul liquid, but how could Xiao Yang succeed so easily? How is it? Xiao Yang asked slowly. Such a question was obviously directed at the three of Shanyao. The strength of the three of us has almost recovered. My own strength is in the early stage of the 7-star Do Emperor, and so is Shanyao. As for Big Brother Snake, it is the completion of the 8-star Do Emperor. With you, the initial stage of the 5-star Do Emperor, our lineup is not compatible. Look down. Shan Lingbei bit her lips slightly. Although Xiao Yang only had the strength of the 5-star Do Di in the early stage, Shan Yarrow did not dare to despise this kid. This lineup is barely acceptable. Xiao Yang heard the words, and suddenly he snorted, obviously facing the top of this desert mountain range. Even Xiao Yang today is quite thorny. I don't know if you know the news about the top of this desert mountain range, Xiao Yang suddenly said. If you want to go to the top of the desert mountain range, you must know some information, otherwise you will be in danger. In the top of the desert mountain range, it seems that there is not only the existence of holy flame, but also the owner of the manor. With the addition of a certain alien evil race, I am afraid that the top layer of the desert mountain range will become the biggest challenge this time. When Xiao Yang opened his mouth, Long Yi's faint voice came from the ancient ruler of eternal fire in his body. I can feel that the top layer of the desert mountain seems to have a strong evil atmosphere, so let's be careful, Shan Yarrow said solemnly. Okay. When Xiao Yang heard the words, it was not difficult to see that the few people knew very little about this desert mountain range, and immediately did not ask. In normal times, Xiao Yang's soul power at the peak of the mortal level of Emperor Realm is enough to make a strong person of the same level accidentally fall directly, and after stepping into the Emperor's Realm level small perfection soul power, Xiao Yang's soul realm is even more massive. At this time, Xiao Yang's soul power strikes with all his strength, and I am afraid that the 5-star Duty Emperor will not be able to eat and walk around. This is the horror of the soul power of the Emperor Realm. Let's go first, go to the top of the desert mountain range. I always feel that something is just about to move somewhere. If it is later, I am afraid it will be bad. Shan Ling said bitterly. Shan Ling's life experience, although now has a little nod, but Shan Ling is really difficult to accept. She and Shan Yarrow have been living in that lake since she was a child. In addition to what she said in the letter from Immortal Master Madwood, Shan Ling's heart could not help but tremble. If it is true that his father abandoned his mother and fled alone, as stated in the letter, then this Madwood Immortal Master is not enough for him to admit it. Let's go. Seeing this, Xiao Yang nodded. Wait a minute, I gave this manner to it. Just as Xiao Yang finished speaking, that Shan Yao's eyes suddenly lit up. Oh! When Xiao Yang heard this, he couldn't help but be surprised. Obviously, this mansion and manor is also a very terrifying fairy weapon. As for the specific function, Xiao Yang does not know, but the thing from the fighting fairy must be extraordinary. Bang bang bang. I don't know what Shan Yarrow said in her lips. In just a few seconds, the mansion and manor that Xiao Yang and the others were standing on suddenly shrunk, and the next moment, it turned into a stream. Liu Guang was taken into the body by Shan Yarrow. Let's go. After finishing all this, Shan Yarrow said to the people with satisfaction. As the manor and manor were taken back, Shan Ling and the others also responded, and then, a stone platform leading to a high place appeared in front of Xiao Yang and the others. This is the road to the top of the desert mountain range. Once we reach this end, we are waiting for unknown dangers. But no matter what, I won't back down. I will definitely figure out my own life experience. Shan Ling's pupils glowed with unparalleled confidence, and then stepped onto the stone platform stairs and headed towards the top of the desert mountain range. Since that's the case, then I can't fall behind. I have to sacrifice my life to accompany the gentleman. Xiao Yang smiled slowly, and then he was wrapped in the power of strange fire, and stepped directly on it. The group of 4 slowly walked towards the stone platform, waiting for them whether it was a chance or a crisis. Elsewhere in the desert mountains, where Mufeng is located, this is a swamp area with no sun. Every time it rotates, it will filter the evil power of these extraterritorial evil races and then convert it into his own fighting chi. So Mufeng is here in just 1 month, and his strength has also skyrocketed from the early stage of 5-star Dodi at the mid-level of the 5-star Dodi. Don't look at this small level. If it is replaced by ordinary practice, I am afraid that it will take a full 10 years to break through. The middle stage of the 5-star Dodi, that's enough. Let's leave here first. Xiao Yang and the others should have also gone to the top of the desert mountain range. But it's strange. It seems that there are no powerful foreign evil races in this swamp. On the contrary, the top layer of the desert mountain has. After Mufeng finished speaking, he slowly exited the cultivation state, and then raised his breath all over his body. Get out of this swamp. In another place in the desert mountain range, Xiao Yi's figure appeared here. This desert mountain range is really full of dangers. Xiao Yi's pretty face couldn't help but sigh slightly, and then moved quickly. Looking at this appearance, it was obviously rushing towards the top of the desert mountain range. After all, Xiao Yi's strength, although it was only the initial stage of the 8-star Do Emperor at the beginning, but with the blessing of the strange fire in Xiao Yang's body and some reasons that even Xiao Yi did not know, At this time Xiaoyi's strength has broken through to the 8-star Do Emperor perfection level. Such a terrifying strength, if it weren't for the relationship with Xiao Yang, I am afraid that this desert mountain range would be pushed out in an instant. Forget it, let's go to the top of the desert mountain range first. Xiao Yang and the others should have gone somewhere. On the one hand, the green flute opened his mouth slightly, then left where he was and headed towards the top of the desert mountain range. Up to this point, Xiao Yang and his party all had their own adventures. Among the 5, Mu Feng and Ludi's strength had skyrocketed to the level of the mid-5-star fighting emperor, and Mu Ining herself was in the mid-5-star fighting emperor. This video will end here.